Hello everybody, the iLord Roots here, and welcome to this first Let's Play of Soul Zero. This is a game by Chandrite Games, and if The Martian is about rescuing Matt Damon from the surface of Mars, this is maybe more aptly about sending people to the surface of Mars to die, so I like to call it the Anti-Martian. Now, I haven't been playing a lot of KSP lately. I've been real busy at work. I've been lecturing lately, and I'm getting ready for a conference. But this is a nice diversion, and I think that, it produces small games, small play periods that we could use. So I'm going to create us a new thing here. I've played Gusev Crater before, and I'm still rather new at it, but I sort of have an idea of the ropes here. Everybody pretty much starts with this, it seems. So we're going to do this now. We could also maybe do RC Mons, but we'll leave that for another time. Now, here's the thing. You can actually play at very easy difficulty, in which no dust storms or meteorites will hit you. But you don't want to do that because you actually get rewarded for meeting certain milestones. I'm going to go with the normal here. And our first order of business is sending off a rocket. Now, there are some suggested things here, and it really depends on what you want to do. I like to send these guys with methane extractors because we only have 100 or 1,000 kilograms we can send. But we want to send at least one rover, and the methane extractor will allow us to get off the surface. We want to send supplies too. So what we could do here is I'm going to get rid of the water because water is easy to get, and I'm going to up the food storage. We could actually send an astronaut if we want, but that's a bad idea at the moment. And we're going to launch this little Titan or Delta Heavy style rocket to Mars. I'm going to skip through most of these launches, but in this case, it is nice to see it the first time around. And we are going to go to Mars instantly. Now you may be wondering about the resolution. Why is the resolution smaller? Well, that has a lot to do with the fact that this game and OBS do not seem to play well together. So I kicked it down to 1600 by 1024, and hopefully that will cover most of the screen. We can start deploying things even before this guy lands, and I'm going to immediately hit E. Well, if I didn't lose the selection on it, I'm going to hit E to explore, and there's this little resource map over here. What we can do now is we can start exploring the surface, figure out what's there. And the main reason we want to explore the surface right now is to see what is available for us. Resource management in this game turns out to be pretty important. You can see we found some ice, which means we can extract water. So this is a good place to start. Now, in reality, the thing is, once you know where things are in the maps, they don't change. The resources are not procedurally generated. But for now, we're going to put it in time warp, just like in KSP. And we can go up to 2 times. And what we're waiting for is this 120 day mark, or 120 soul mark. It's about a day, it's a little bit longer. But the plan is that we're going to wait for our next launch window, and we're going to send more things out here to help us move. You can see we found methane, which is useful for building rocket, or fueling rockets rather. Now this guy's a methane extractor because I don't want to tap into my methane supplies quite yet. But by going and taking this zigzag pattern, we'll be doing ourselves a favor. So the plan is that we're going to concurrently send the rover to explore, while on the flip side, we are going to do our best to get a colony established. And I think right around here is a good place for us to begin. We want a place where we can easily mine things, and it's good for us to really... Oh, we've already passed our launch window. That's the thing about Time Warp. Fortunately, this isn't like real life. I'm going to send another methane extractor and maybe 120 kilograms of food. But I'm also going to send a forklift. This will help us automate things in the beginning. And we can only send 2 crates, but that'll be okay. I am doing this largely because of the fact that if we do not, then what'll happen is we really need to be in a situation to where we can easily get a base going. And not only that, but we also want to be in such a way that we will be able to easily deal with redundancy. So, we can tell this guy to automate, and it'll start extracting boxes, which will be useful for us. This guy, on the other hand, can begin to do some exploration for us, and we really should be deciding here where it is that we want to go. I'm just going to begin moving this guy and using the root tool to begin exploring more in the way of terrain over here, with the hope being that we are not in a bad place. And we're going to want to keep this guy exploring. We already have a methane deposit, which is good news for us, and water as well. But methane and water will not necessarily be enough for us to survive. The eventual goal, of course, is to create a self-sustaining colony. And that should tell you something, because there's one thing that colonies tend to do, and that becomes an important aspect of this game. So we'll do the time warp again. We will try not to talk over our launch window like I did last time. And it is beginning to look like we actually may have a fairly good place to set up here. That this is probably an okay place. The main thing, of course, is that we want to end up getting our base as soon as possible. We're about, I don't know, 20 days out, 30 days out from our launch window, and we'll need to be watching that fairly closely. Not that it really matters, because at this point, we're just doing exploration. Sending out as much as we can is a good idea. And there we go. We're at 266 days, so we're 2 days past our launch window. Now we can begin sending an astronaut. And we have about enough for us to begin dealing with this. An astronaut consumes about exactly 2 kilograms of food per soul and 1 liter of water. And so we'll want to keep that in mind. We don't need to send more than, we'll just do half and half here. We don't need to send more, however, than, what we have now, because we have food reserves, and we can only store up to 400 initially. So I'm going to send the rest in crates, and we'll put in a little bit more in the way of, how about water? Because I may not hit that window exactly, and we'll be able to store that. So let's skip the launch, and let's get to base building. We need to find a place here that would be good for landing. And I think right around here would be good. We'll put in our landing facility up around where that first lander was. First order of business is that we want to build some solar panels. And we want to diversify this as much as possible. We are completely fueled up, but we can't send this out yet because there is actually tons of supplies we need to get out of it. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to build 3 of these guys here. And hopefully the Astronaut will... You can see our guy here is automating the entire process. Maybe even 4. Because we're sending food, it'll be okay. Oh no, this guy's trapped. Let's just get out of this dude's way and we will automate this. Okay, we're good on our power situation. Having decided that we want to put our thing up here, what I've decided is that we are going to put in just below this guy. We're going to put in an airlock down here. Maybe over on this end, because we're not colliding with any resources. And we're close by. So let's make sure we're traveling at a reasonable speed here. We have another 50 days to get this tube going. Anything that you build, you will want to have stuff nearby. So I'm going to create a pallet. This is where we can store our crates. And that means that this guy can come in, he'll start moving crates out here, and then we'll build another pallet for us to store these crates. And this guy, since he's automated, will start unloading the crates here. We can begin doing our actual building. I want to put in a water cryo tank, and the best place for us to put it might be up here. Although we have a rock we can move. So we will move past that. This guy is ready to launch. And we brought enough in the way of crates here for us to consider. Let's look first of all at this launch pad. If we set up this launch pad, we're going to need to set it up here so we don't clip with any rocks. And that takes exactly 7. Meanwhile, this guy will help us. And, we won't have much. There we go. That means now that we can get rid of all these guys here. We need this guy for habitation, more than likely. But that'll be okay for now. Our next goal will probably be to make sure that we have enough in the way of food and water. We can hit Cuba away if an astronaut gets trapped there. Now, we have plenty of things here. I think the methane tank should go up here so we can begin the process of refueling this guy. Because we only have a few days until our next launch window. And that'll be good. We have a meteor shower on its way. And you can see it happened way over there. This guy needs to continue exploring while we can still give it orders. Because I neglected to set its path, and I really do wish that... One thing that would be nice is that you could give it more in the way of instructions here concerning the path. That is a slight wart on this game, but not a huge one. We're gonna get it to go through this chasm here, or rather this valley. And we'll have it explore in this region. And launch window is available now. We got a new rocket we can send. For every launch pad we build, we can send one of these large rockets. Now, we don't want to send colonists yet, but it would be good for us to send this RMV. This is a bulldozer. How are we doing on food? We could do with more food, because we won't survive the next sol without it. We want, it looks like, close to 230. Water might be an issue too. We're going to send enough water to last the next launch window. And then we can send the rest in supplies here. They'll give us 10 crates. And we'll just watch this bad boy launch. This is kind of like a cross between an Atlas and SLS, it looks like. Now, this is beginning to be a very good thing we're doing here. You can see we're landed at the base. We can take this guy, and I'm going to start moving some rocks around here, with the idea that we want to have access to all of the water. The clay is not yet as important. Oh, we'll just push this rock out of the way here. And to do that, we need to bulldoze. Bulldozing, as far as I can tell, only gets rid of small hills and rocks. Very good. This guy can get started on his water. We've discovered ore, it looks like, and you can see we still have a ton of we have a ton of material here. I'm going to build it about here, I think. Maybe here would be even better. I'm not sure about that. I think that this is the way to do it. And this will give us a ton of water that we can look at. We also have discovered a small amount of water over here as well. You can see our rover has done a very good job of figuring out what resources are available. This is refueled, but we can't send it back yet because the astronaut will have no place to live. And we can get around that. If you look here, we happen to have beds that we can send out. And what I'm going to do in particular here is I'm going to take this astronaut and I'm going to begin working on a place where we can put colonists. Food is maybe the next thing for us to look at. Now, in order to really have a colony, we need several things. We happen to need you of course need oxygen. We don't quite need it yet. I think we might put in another tube here. Now the only thing is these guys, each tunnel segment we create will take at least 1 energy. So we'll have to be careful about that. You can see, however, that the water problem has been somewhat ameliorated, I guess you would say. I'm just going to create a 4-way tunnel here. And with any amount of luck, what will happen is whenever we get close to this window, we will have this habitat that can support up to 6 colonists. Probably including our astronaut here. And we don't necessarily want to send colonists yet. Oh, and you can see too, there's another problem. We need to repair our solar panels. The reason I'm hesitant to send colonists at the moment is that we need at least 3 greenhouses here. And get this guy to clean the panel here. The astronaut doesn't require any oxygen. So that is okay. We found another methane deposit, which we will need to get this guy to take off, because this tank can only support 1,000 liters. So we can't quite send colonists yet anyway. However, we can send this guy out now. Or maybe we can't. I think it's because this guy actually needs a place to take his helmet off. What are we doing now? Oh, come on. You can repair that, can't you? Apparently he wants coffee instead. So each one of these guys here will give us 6 watts of power. And when they're covered up like that, they will give us slightly more. And we can start putting in the oxygen here, I think. It would probably be good, actually, for us to begin putting that farm in. Now you'll notice we have an excess of materials here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another tube, like so. And we have a launch window. So let's take care of that. We can only send one of these guys back, unfortunately. But all we have to send now is food, because we have plenty of water. I'm going to send 250 kilograms, or thereabouts. Send as many crates as we can. And enough food to last us until we can send other things out. This will keep us supplied. There is a lot of launching in this game, as it turns out. That'll be okay. And it'll be okay for us to land in places like this, as long as we are careful. Now, it's very important that we send these guys back. And it's also very important now that... Oh, we had a plan for this, actually. I'm gonna give us more methane here. We should, whenever possible, get access to methane. We're producing 8 liters per soul, which isn't a bad deal. We can also build a recycling center on our water. And we can attach cryo tanks to it. I'm not yet convinced that I want to send colonists, because for a basic colony, you can see up here we have this guy up here. It means we need more in the way of colonists to deal with that. We're getting a big enough base to where that's actually turning out to be a little bit of an issue. This guy needs new orders too. So, we are going to begin exploring this region. And that'll be very helpful for us because we want new resources. As, really we want diversity for one. But, on top of that, we also want to begin building out solar panels here as well. And we can put this guy over here, I think. That will not cause much in the way of harm. And it'll give us a bit of a boost. This area will be explored rather rapidly. Because there's less area to cover. Less ground to cover, that is. And then once we are done building these solar panels, we want to begin putting in supplies for colonists to get in. Now, colonists, as a matter of course, will not come to your base unless you supply them with at least quarters that they can access. And in order to do that, those need oxygen. So that means that for us, we need to send these guys back out. I'm going to speed this process up a little bit. It might be good. You know, while we're at it, I'm going to build a pallet out here so that we have a place to unload these things, so that when we run out of supplies, our astronaut will do something stupid like run to the other end. We can take this guy over here and we'll move the supplies over to the pallet. And hopefully he's on his way now. We can build another solar panel if we want. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea, come to think of it. Oh, we've discovered more ice. Very good. Now, eventually, we'll want more astronauts up here to do cleaning. And we will want to get colonists up here eventually. So, with that having been said, we're probably able to completely refuel this now. In just a little bit more time, we will have had enough methane, and we definitely have enough water. And I'm going to send something that will allow us to mine the surface. Because as much as possible, I want to clear out these minerals so we can continue to build. Okay. We'll launch this guy off. We want it to happen before our launch window occurs. And we will take this guy here. All I'm doing at the moment is I'm building more in the way of redundancy in. Because what might happen if we're not careful as a meteor storm might hit these solar panels over here. That could be unfortunate. That is not the best way to deal with such problems. And now that we have that going on, I'm going to begin by building a tube. A four-way hallway, in fact, would be good. Although, we really want a straight hallway there. And this guy is just moving stuff around because he can, it looks like. We want to get this colony going as soon as possible, and that's what I aim to do. Now our rover, it looks like, has finished his exploration. So let's get him in queued real quick to do more exploration. This will be eventually the site of a second base, and we want redundancy because of those meteor storms. So we will eventually have explored the entire surface. But knowing that, we want to be careful. We are coming up on our launch window pretty soon. Let's see if that astronaut could, well, first of all, do his job. We wanted to build a straight hallway there, and for some reason he doesn't want to. What is going on with this astronaut? Over. There we go. Build that hallway. There's still routing issues here. We have very clean solar panels today. Very interesting. Okay. Let's maybe focus on getting the four-way hallway going. And the oxygen generator. The eventual plan here is for us... Oh, we got another launch. Let's take care of that. We'll send the big guns out this time. Now I'm going to send a mineral extractor, which will help us clear up these minerals here. And we can send enough food to max that out, at least for now. Water is no problem, so we'll send out crates. As much food as we can muster here. And we will skip that, of course. So, we are now returning to the surface. Things are looking up. I mean, we are definitely at a point right now to where we might hit the limit, but we have a greenhouse we can build. This will supply this guy with food here. And if we build 2 more of these, we can support a skeleton crew that'll break even. Now, perhaps the most efficient use of these guys here is to get them building their things. And, we just do that. We'll have to put put the oxygen generator here. You can change the orientation of the hull by hitting tab by way of anything. This guy is completely refueled, which is grand. Now, with that oxygen generator, we should be able to easily send out things. We could start sending supply missions that only produce for things. Let's go ahead and let me show you how this guy here works. We could send the rover or the miner out here to this patch. And we can come through and we can tell it to mine. And it'll mine in the surrounding area, clearing the land for us. Now clay will become important. We're clear of minerals here, so we'll just move up and continue to mine. Once we exhaust this entire area, it is now suitable for us. This guy can go back. Area is clean of minerals. And there appears to be more in the way of water here. Solar panels need repair. We're going to send the astronaut out to do that. Or maybe he will go of his own free will. I sincerely doubt it, though. Oh, where is he? Over. Oh no, he's cleaning the... He's cleaning the solar panel. Which is very good news for us. Over. Now we have this going, what we need to do now is this guy has oxygen. We need to let the atmosphere in and do our thing. Now you have to be careful, and I'll just do this for the purposes of demonstration, because nobody's inhabiting this, because these guys here are hatches into the hallway. If you open this, about what you'd expect would happen. Now you want to be careful about that. We'll fuel, or we'll get this guy going. We can eventually take in Colonist. Now that the light on this is green, we have the oxygen level that we need. And this guy can go back. And once this guy gets enough oxygen, then what will happen is that we will end up, hopefully, we did not open the door down there. This guy will start filling up, as will this guy. And this guy as well. So we will be producing net food, because the greenhouses produce 2 food per soul. Now there comes a time where we will really, we'll really want to look at other solutions, because the greenhouses take a lot of space. But the nice thing is that we can send more food. There we go. The mining efficiency does leave a little bit to be desired here, unfortunately. And we can get around that with the geology lab. Solar panels need repair and maintenance. Looks like our buddy is on the case here. Okay, well, we're about to hit our next window. You can see we have efficiency problems here, but we got a ton of soul. And it is time for us to launch again. I'm going to go with a big rocket this time. We've sent all of our heavy equipment, although we may wish to send another forklift to assist us. So we'll send that. How much would a forklift require? We are break even, so we can send enough food to make our astronauts happy. Or our single astronaut. Now we need to build things for the surrounding area here. And in order to do that, we are best served by, I think we sent another forklift here. We got 2 of them. This will make us easier to work with here. Let's just find the astronaut. This guy can begin building his habitat here. Now, we'll just open the hatch here. Everybody has oxygen. You'll notice, however, that the oxygen does begin to thin out, and it's based on its distance. So we may eventually want to build another oxygen generator as a result. We can also build an extractor as well. This guy will build another thing here. Another 4-way. The reason for that largely being that we want to fit in as many greenhouses here. If we can just get to break even, that would be excellent. You can see we have filled up almost everything, and our construction efforts are making this a little bit easier. Now we do have to watch the water consumption though, because at the present time this guy will consume tons of water. 1 liter of water per thing. A blight has spoiled our food reserves. We need to be careful. We are already using more water than we're bringing in, and one of the things we can do to help that is we can attach a recycling center. But we're now producing more food than we need. And if we send 4 colonists in, we will be able to sustain this. Hopefully this guy is going to come up and do his thing. And we will be able to send more people out. So there we go. These guys are now on their way. We have enough water, I think, to refuel and launch this guy. And we'll send out colonists to help us, because it is meet that we do so. Okay, this guy may be done exploring. We're gonna give it new orders. And what we'll do, well, if I can target it, is we will begin exploring this little rim here. This is a fantastic place for us to begin working. And we'll just have this guy go back and forth here. We'll explore this upper realm. And hopefully we'll find more in the way of resources. We got our water back, though, so that's not a problem. The main deal now is we're going to need to be able to do more in the way of extraction. Now, I don't know if it's possible to improve the extractors. Probably not. But that'll be okay. We'll just send our population here. Water lost due to frozen pipes. We lost things here. We want to be very careful with our food balance here. The frozen pipes is due to people not being able to support the base. That when we're in the red, random mistakes happen. And we're just going to have to deal with that for now. Oh, there we go. We happen to have this guy here. Another big launch here. This time we can send colonists, up to 4. We are good on food, so we don't need to send that. Water, we could maybe send a little bit of. And sending another extractor might be good. I am going to send another astronaut to help us. This is often a recipe for disaster. Though, once we build enough in the way of colony support, we'll be okay. And we are unloading the colonists. You can see them moving about inside our base. And this guy we will get to work here. Now we have somebody who can clean the solar panels. We got mission planning. We have resulted in 0 deaths. Hello, honey. Yes, she has come upstairs to come watch me. We want to... What we want to do next is we want to build out a little bit. Let's just grab this guy. I don't think we're going to be getting any resources from over here, so I'm going to build another colony support thing. And because we've reached 6 people, I think we need 8 actually. Requires 8 population. That's okay, we can break even here. And our water reclamation is doing well. Still, we now need to, once this guy is finished repairing the solar panels, we could probably go with another pallet. In fact, a pallet, we're getting in tons of resources, and we do need to be careful of that, because these guys... Did I do what? Oh yes, yes I did test it. These guys here are now going to need to give themselves room. You can see that our repair is coming along swimmingly. And I believe should be able to... I'm going to build a solar panel in here just because we can. We want to build, because we are completely full, we we may want to build another base. And these guys are going to help us, because it is their job. This guy needs oxygen as well. Now, we don't dare open the hatches to the outside world at this point, because that is dangerous. And this guy is not cleaning solar panels for some reason. Our immediate goals at this point are to try to support ourselves by creating a geology lab and a biology lab, in which case we can create farms. It's not the best situation, to be honest, but I mean, we could do worse. This guy over here, I think we can begin building another base over here. Maybe up here would be a good site for one. Connect to a hull. What are we... Why can we not build here? Uh-oh. Okay, this has to be contiguous. Well, that is a bit of a problem. Not one that is completely insurmountable. I mean, in fact, I think we'll be okay if we begin moving these guys out like so. We want to probably build more greenhouses, and we may want more in the way of food as well. How close are we to our launch window? We are fairly close. I have to admit that this does present some problems. But we can at least begin building our solar arrays here, because we could use a little bit more power. These guys, you know, this is actually the best I've had with the base. And we can build other things as well. We can build a monument. But we're not, because we have an airlock. Nice. I don't know if the airlock is bi-directional. It occurs to me that we will probably want one up here near the water. So this is what I'm going to do. I am going to build another thing up here, because I don't think we can really extract all of that. Oh, we got another launch window. Let's... Oh, we should have sent that guy off, shouldn't we? Let's send, because we're good on food, let's just send supplies. And this will be the last launch of the night, I believe, or of this recording. We'll just send this guy over here. And we will deploy this guy. We have a little bit more here, but we do need to expand ever so slowly, because we need 2 or so things of food. My goal is, before the end of the episode, for us to begin producing enough to support another shipment of colonists. This guy we completely forgot to launch. And over here, we need more exploration. So let's get this guy to doing his thing here. No, 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 don't go all the way over there. This is being a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with this first episode. We don't want to declare independence, so I'm not going to. But we can eventually declare independence if we like. The base would not support it, and we don't really have any way back right now. We're too dependent on Earth. But because we're colonists, eventually we can revolt and declare our independence from the motherland. And there is a huge stash of methane, which I very much like.
Over.
This guy here, I think we said we were going to do a 4-way hallway.
Command.
They seem to get caught up on things very easily. Oh no, I hit the macro button. One moment. Maybe we can get this guy to come back. I mean, the main thing is, we don't want ourselves to be too vulnerable. And, that's something to take into consideration. Our water situation is also pretty bad. So, we can put another recycler on this tank, which I think would be a grand idea. Eventually, we will want to begin building over here. Now, I think if we come up through here, we can eventually get a separate base going. That would be very nice if we could. For now, as it turns out, we are going to have to be very careful about how we proceed next. More supplies are not necessarily the answer, because we have tons already, and we will barely use them. Now what is... Oh, we're still building that, of course. And this guy is... no idea what he's doing, actually. If I could tell you, I would. We're going to need another oxygen generator up here eventually to equalize the pressure. And, you know, I'll put that airlock in so that the astronauts can start traveling through the colony, because for some reason the astronauts have no problem. Oh, water recovered. We need to build another water tank eventually. There we go. I don't know. We probably could have built that in line. Yeah, we could have. Well, that's okay. We'll put down some greenhouses. Put down one greenhouse, see what happens to the water supply. Although it looks like we actually need to destroy this guy here and replace it. Fortunately, we have not done too much. What I'm going to do, I think, is we're almost at our window. I'm going to destroy this.
Over.
And we'll replace it with a straight hallway, and that'll let us put in another oxygen generator. So, we will end the episode here, I think, with the one launch window coming up soon. But until then, this has been Thy Lord Root, and I will see you later.